The music industry and the NBA go hand in hand, but which NBA player has the best music taste? Well, today I'm going to be ranking both new and old NBA players' music tastes on a tier list, and we're going to be looking at the playlists of a bunch of different players including SGA, Jayson Tatum, Anthony Davis, and more, and all of these takes are going to be my opinion, so if you think my opinion's ass, leave a comment, let me know, and yeah, enjoy the video.
Coop.
Now, you know I had to start with the reigning MVP of the league, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and lucky for us, Shai actually has a collaboration with Spotify where we can see his public playlist, and I'm not gonna lie, he got some bangers on you. Freestyle by Osama Sun, Heavy on My Heart by Lucky, even Wasted Times by The Weeknd. Shai got a super modern music taste, and he's tapped into hella underground artists as well, and if you look at his Instagram posts, he's always showing love to different up-and-coming rappers. He also loves Drake, what a surprise. I feel like damn near every NBA player likes Drake though. SGA has a lot of clips of him singing Drake songs like You Broke My Heart, and It's Up with Young Thug and 21 Savage. Overall, I feel like Shai's music taste really reflects modern day pop culture, and no glaze, I gotta put him in S tier. Alright, the next player who we're going to be ranking is the Brow himself, Anthony Davis. AD has two public playlists and they're both in collaboration with Apple Music. Some highlights that I saw on these playlists include Unforgettable by French Montana, Grace by Lil Baby, and Perplexing Pegasus by Ray Shremmer. I'm not gonna lie, most of the songs on AD's playlist kind of remind me of like 2020 just sitting in COVID playing Fortnite. During interviews, he's also talked about his favorite artist and he said that J. Cole was actually his GOAT. Overall, as much as there's some pretty good songs on the playlist, a lot of them are just super popular songs by really popular artists. I think I'm gonna put Mr. Injuries in a solid B tier.
I just wanted to ask, I know you like Non-Vicious. I know you're all with that music. Give me your top three from Atlanta.
Top three from Atlanta? Yeah. I'll put Glock in there. I listen to Glock before games, so it's a crazy question to ask.
Niggas that get you going, it ain't nothing I call them bounce. I ain't stupid, I can't fall for no damn Trump.
Alright, up next we got the better Ja Morant, Stephon Castle. Now, Stephon grew up near Atlanta, so that's where a lot of his favorite artists come from. In interviews, he's talked about Nine Vicious, Young Thug, Lil Baby, and a bunch of other YSL members. And I feel like kinda similar to Shai, he's really tapped into the newer artists. Stephon Castle actually has pictures with Prada Bag Shawty, and Prada spoke on their friendship on an interview with Emwell.
Who is this?
They still. They twin. How you got that though?
Now, outside of the artists I just listed, I couldn't find too much other information on what type of music he listens to, so I'm gonna just put Stephon in a B tier. Now, I feel like this could easily be higher if I knew more of the songs and artists he listened to, but since I don't, I'm gonna just leave him there.
You the one that's trying to keep your business low-key, huh? You the one that's having your main nigga can't get no sleep, huh?
Now, Kevin Durant is the next player we're going to be ranking. Now, I feel like I can't really talk about KD's music taste without talking about Drake. I mean, these two go way back and they've been shouting each other out since like 2012. You can see on plenty different interviews where Kevin Durant stated that his favorite artist is actually Drake and his favorite Drake song is Diplomatic Immunity. Now, aside from Drake, this dude listens to a whole lot of different music. Looking through both of his Apple Music and Spotify playlists, there's plenty of highlights such as Hints by Anderson .Paak, Flip the Switch by Quavo, and A Lot by 21 Savage. Now, some other artists that KD stated that he likes include Steve Lacy, Kodak Black, and Jay-Z. And out of all the songs I saw on his playlist, I didn't really see any misses, so KD's going in the S tier.
Fuck being on some chill shit. We go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick. I been Steph Curry with the shot, been cooking with the sauce, Chef Curry with the pot, boy.
Now, up next I had to do the greatest basketball player of all time, Steph Curry. And Steph's music taste kinda has me split. Steph is one of those guys that has a super bipolar music taste. And what I mean by that is you got Drake on one side, but then you got Benson Boone on the other. Now, along with that, Steph also pops up at a lot of country concerts. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that music is not for me. Some highlights of artists that Steph listens to include Lupe Fiasco, Andre 3000, and Tupac. And Steph also said that his favorite artist is Lecrae, which I guess. Now, as much as I like a lot of the songs and a lot of the artists that Steph listens to, I also don't listen to a lot of the people that he likes, so I'm gonna throw Steph into the C tier for now. Alright, Alright, so the next player we got is Steph Curry's teammate, Jimmy Butler. And much like Steph, Jimmy also likes country music a lot. And just looking at his pregame playlist, I have no clue how he warms up to this shit. Like, imagine you pull up and Jimmy Butler's on the aux and he's playing Luke Combs and you have to practice shooting your threes to that. Anyways, aside from that, Jimmy Butler also likes the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, as he stated in an interview. And along with speaking about Lauryn Hill, he also talked about Purpose by Justin Bieber being his favorite album of all time. Overall, as much as I like Jimmy as a player, I feel like I'm gonna have to throw him in the F tier just because someone has to go in there. Alright, the next player we got is the best rapper in the league. You guys already know who it is, Miles Bridges. Now, Bridges listens to a lot of Flint and Detroit music, including Sada Baby and Team Eastside. And along with that, his playlist also features artists like Future, Lil Baby, and Biggie. Now, some highlights of songs in his playlist include Hallucinating by Future, World Is Yours by Gunna, and Is There More by Drake. Now, along with the songs that he listens to, he also drops a lot of music under the name RTB MB. Honestly, I feel like if Miles Bridges never made it to the league, he still could have been hella successful as a rapper. Overall, I think Miles Bridges is going to be the first guy that I'm going to throw into the A tier.
I'm in London, got my beef from London.
Yeah, in the trap, hanging places that you can't go. Glock 40, he got smoky at a Draco.
Alright, up next we got Jayson Tatum, and JT's playlist is super safe. Like, it's one of the more basic playlists that I've seen so far, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, Sicko Mode and Middle Child are great songs, but I feel like I've heard those songs be played so many times that they're just not fresh anymore. Some highlights on this playlist include Double Up by Nipsey Hussle, Belly, and Don Kennedy, as well as Tap by Nav and Meek Mill. Aside from this, Jayson Tatum has also talked about his love for Nelly, as he comes from the same town as him. Now, just like everyone else on this list, he's also a big Drake fan, and his favorite Drake album is Thank Me Later. Now, I think overall, Jayson Tatum has a pretty decent music taste, and I'm gonna throw him into the B tier.
None of your jokes, man. Joke with Baker equals perfect lucky.
Alright, next up I wanted to put a rookie in here, and who better than the Chicago Bulls' very own Caleb Wilson. Now, aside from absolutely hooping in the summer league, Caleb Wilson has a pretty interesting music taste. His two favorite artists, being Lucky and Zach Bryan, are pretty much polar opposite sides of the music industry. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really listen to Zach Bryan at all, so I can't really speak on that, but I do like Lucky a lot. Caleb Wilson's favorite Lucky songs are Midnight Series, Poker Face, and No Troubles. Now, apart from Lucky and Zach Bryan, this dude has a super diverse music taste, where he stated that he listens to artists like Green Day, Fleetwood Mac, Youngboy, MF Doom, and Nas. I feel like almost anyone can find a song that he likes that they also like. And this dude definitely knows his shit when it comes to his music taste. I think overall I'm gonna throw him into the A tier because I like every artist that he listens to other than Zach Bryan. And just a side note for all the Bulls fans watching this, I feel like Caleb Wilson can really be a surprise for the Rookie of the Year contention, and y'all definitely got a future star on your hands. Up next, we got the greatest trade asset ever, Paul George. But seriously, like, this dude got traded for Shai and Jaylen Brown. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, Paul George has a couple playlists in collaboration with Nike that are public on Spotify, and you can see him listening to a lot of LA music as he grew up in Palmdale. Looking through his playlist, you'll see artists like RJ Mr. LA, Schoolboy Q, and J-Rock. And along with that, you'll also see a lot of R&B in his playlist with a lot of Chris Brown songs. And PG also includes Rihanna and Alicia Keys on these playlists. Now, overall, the highlights on his playlist include Feel by Kendrick Lamar, Hard Way by RJ Mr. LA, and Tempo by Chris Brown. I feel like I gotta put Paul George into a very high A tier. It's almost S, but it's not quite there for me.
It's only 2 in the morning, I'm high with my face and my cup and my gun on my lap. I don't be beefing with niggas, I see you whenever I see you, just leave it at that.
Now, the final player I'm going to be ranking is Jared McCain, and Jared used to do a series on Instagram called Songs of the Week. Now, this series has a lot of different diverse music with artists like Lil Uzi, Pink Panthers, Justin Bieber, Soso Camo, and a lot more. And along with that, this dude is like the biggest Drake fan ever. You can find hella different videos of him dancing to Drake songs on TikTok. And honestly, I feel like Jared is one of those guys that also has a music taste where you can find a song that you like no matter who you are. Some of the best songs I found in this playlist playlist include First Take by Travis Scott, Coffee by Miguel, There He Go by Soso Camo, and Stay Schemin' by Rick Ross. Now there are also a few artists that I don't listen to on his playlist, including Addison Rae and Somber, but overall I think he does have a really good music taste, and I'm going to put him also into the A tier. Anyways, that's the last player I'm going to be ranking in this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment and let me know what you thought about my takes, and yeah, have a great day.